St. Louis has a sports history and is known for its dedicated and enthusiastic fans who support their teams through good times and bad. From the beloved St. Louis Cardinals baseball team to actually the former Rams and the Big Red of the NFL. Lately, there have been changes that show an aspect of St. Louis expecting high standards and honesty from its teams, and those unable to cope with the expectations might find success elsewhere. The LA Rams, the Arizona Cardinals, who once called St. Louis home, it is commonly believed that St. Louis was not enough market for these two teams. However, the truth may be different. It wasn't that St. Louis didn't meet their standards. The exit of these franchises brings attention to the city's knowledgeable fan base, who values excellence and community over profits that are driven by the ownership. The Rams and Big Red leaving reflects more on the ownership than the city. When the Rams departed from St. Louis in 2016, owner Stan Kroenke gave a reason that Los Angeles had a market and more profit, and St. Louis wasn't living up to the expectations. However, it was about the money, and it wasn't about the fans and the city. The fans of St. Louis are deeply loyal, and they could see that there was not enough effort put into creating a winning team or atmosphere. The Rams went through some seasons where they didn't perform well on the field, even though the city was eager to cheer them on and show support as fans do their part in any sporting event, but it felt like the team's owners weren't really invested in building a strong bond with the local community. The situation with the Arizona Cardinals, or Big Red as we called them, was quite similar. They left in 1988 due to a combination of performance on the field and a feeling that the team's owners were not fully invested in their success, which caused a decline in support. Over time, as supporters were disappointed by the team's lack of competitiveness, just like the Rams, the owners' inability to meet their expectations ultimately resulted in the team moving westward. Both times the franchises departed because they didn't meet the city's expectations. It wasn't the flaws in the city. There's no flaws in the city. St. Louis has consistently shown its commitment to backing a team that puts effort on and off the field. Look at the St. Louis Battlehawks. Look at the soccer team. The Rams and Cardinals left not because of lack of support from St. Louis fans. The team, well, better yet, the community had lofty standards for the team. Exploring the principles of accountability through the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team, the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team is experiencing a similar situation as well right now. The Cardinals have won 11 World Series and are, in many instances, considered the pride of the city. They have a history of greatness. However, the fans have started expressing their discontent towards the team ownership and management. The Cardinals had been quite successful historically. However, fans now criticize the ownership group and the seasons of poor performance and controversial trades like getting rid of the NLCS MVP Tommy Edman. They see a lack of commitment to building a truly competitive team. This discontent isn't about the team losses, but also about the perceived lack of drive within the organization, getting away from those cardinal values. A demanding fan base like St. Louis expects a team that always strives for excellence. When fans feel that ownership isn't fully committed to achieving success on the level, they voice their concerns, and they definitely do that in St. Louis. This reaction doesn't stem from mediocre fans, rather from a city deeply invested in its sports scene. People in St. Louis expect those in charge to be accountable for their actions. If the owners can't handle the pressure of the situation, then maybe they should think about whether they're capable of managing a team in this city. The city embodies exemplary standards. St. Louis fans stand out for their discernment when it comes to sports. They cheer a pitcher that's throwing a great game. They cheer a player. They give a standing ovation for a great play in the field during a baseball game. This is St. Louis that I know. This is what makes the city I was born and raised in and raised my children in a great city. This high level of dedication sets this city apart. It contributes to making the city a unique and one of a kind sports world, if you will. However, this also implies that not every team may align perfectly with these discerning St. Louis fans. If a business or individual doesn't commit wholeheartedly to supporting their team in achieving success on the field and interacting with the community here in St. Louis, they will not hesitate to withdraw or lower their support for that team. Best case right now are the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team. They now have made management changes based on the lack of attendance and support for that baseball team. Through this perspective, the city functions as a sieve purging teams that fail to earn its backing. The strong critique of the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team ownership may seem harsh to people. It actually reflects the high standards of the city's residents. At a time when sports fans tend to tolerate subpar leadership and unsatisfactory outcomes elsewhere, St. Louis distinguishes itself as a place that strives for excellence, and rightfully so. Sports teams are not just about profits. They symbolize a community. In St. Louis, it's a case of survival of the fittest. The Rams and the Arizona Cardinals football teams, their leaving reflects more about them, those organizations, than it does the city itself. St. Louis is a market not due to its size or importance, but because its fans are enthusiastic and very well informed, while also expecting responsibility and accountability. If you can't cope with the demands of this environment in St. Louis, you may not be the right fit. If you step up to the challenge and you show your best efforts when needed, most in St. Louis, especially the baseball team and the hockey team, we know you're tough enough. We know that you've made it. We know that you've lived up to the city's expectations, and that's a crucial part of our support. In St. Louis, the message is crystal clear. Only the resilient make it through. And for those who prosper, the benefits like loyalty, support, and a strong bond with the community are priceless and live for centuries. Thank you.